welcome to Watching the Game. I'm your host, Idris Mohammed Kudemi, joined by Oda Isa, frequent guest Yasser Kudemi, and first-time guest Yunus Ruch. What's up, my guys?
What's up?
What's up?
So another great NFL Sunday in the books. Week 3 is almost over, and wow, a lot of close games yesterday. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games that ended with the deficit of one possession. Pretty crazy.
This week lived up to the hype with all the crazy matchups.
Let's start with the game we were all watching. I think the stupidest football game I've ever watched on so many levels. Bears beat the Falcons 30-26 somehow.
Dude,
Tell me how that.
The fact that we won this game just shows that the Falcons are absolutely awful. We beat the refs. Jerome Boger is the worst NFL referee I've ever seen.
Let's talk about that controversial catch, or actually called interception, between Allen Robinson and the Falcons' number 1 corner. I thought that was going to be just that the call was going to stay what it was. It was a touchdown.
That was terrible. It was terrible in so many ways, dude.
Oh, it wasn't even the thing that pissed me off the most. What pissed me off the most were the 2 roughing the passer calls. That totally made sense. Like Akeem Hicks, he did nothing. All he did was tackle the guy. Somehow, roughing the pass.
I think they called on Mario Edwards as well.
You're not allowed to look at the quarterback anymore. It's against the rules.
Mario Edwards one was just as dumb because it's not his fault that your O-line couldn't block for you and that your head ended up falling down because of it. You have to think, logically, this is not possible for the guy to pull his head out. The real story of this game, 2 stories, actually. So, first, Nick Foles comes in for Mitchell Trubisky. If he stays healthy, that could possibly be the last time Mitchell Trubisky plays for the Bears.
Indeed.
I think this is a very smart move on Nagy's part. I know it was basically a debate over the offseason whether Trubisky's going to get the start or Foles. And I kind of understand why they stayed with Trubisky, but I feel like his era is over.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but dude has just been getting chance after chance, and this is his 4th year still making rookie mistakes. That interception in the 3rd quarter was just, I don't know what he saw there.
I gotta say, though, they took him out when he wasn't doing that terribly.
I think it was just that interception was so bad, it was just a last straw. That's how bad it was. It was just a last straw with him.
Yeah, that's what that made Matt Nagy frustrated. You can get away with the short throws, but then sooner or later you're gonna have to have an explosive play, and then he just wasn't connecting on them.
They had the side-by-side where they ran basically the same play with Miller, and then Trubisky overthrew him, but Foles hit him perfectly in stride. So
Foles looked good, except for the few plays where it was just bad dump downs.
The first 2 drives were just to get him ready,
Really?
get him.
Honestly, technically speaking, he threw 5 touchdowns in the second half. So
it's not gonna be this easy for him again, though, because Falcons had a bunch of injuries. Plus,
defense is rated
when you're desperate, when you're that desperate, of course you're gonna be able to pass it that well. But
next week will definitely be a good test against the Colts defense that I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had 2 pick six yesterday against Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last week when the Falcons lost to the Cowboys. But again, how in the world
Fire Dan Quinn.
Still employed? I don't understand.
He should have
How
been
do you
fired
think
after 28-3. After 28-3,
when
he should have been
you're
fired.
expected when you're literally expected to lose every game that you're up multiple possessions in, something has got to change.
He definitely should have just been fired after the 28-3.
How does this happen 2 weeks in a row?
I mean, again, yes, it is the head coach's fault, but also the Falcons' defense is pretty knocked up. I played a role in it as well.
Yeah. Could we talk about AJ Terrell testing positive and then somehow no one else on the team testing positive? That's
guys, it's
Yeah, I feared that. I mean, because they didn't postpone
right.
the game. I
that
feared
It is
that.
possible.
that kind of.
We're not scientists here, but I mean, I've heard that it is possible because it's like
But don't they wear masks during the practice? Or like face coverings? Maybe not like proper masks, but
it's not like they're together the entire time, you know.
Even if
I
they're
just
around
I just
Terrell,
hope they're not lying to us. That's all I'm saying.
even if they're around Terrell, some people don't even get tested positive until like a couple days after.
This is
Who
true.
knows?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hoping everything as well.
so as for the Bears, they're 3-0. They still have some flaws, but I mean they are 3-0, and then
One of
their
three.
schedule is tougher from here on out. And then for the Falcons, well,
Doesn't get any easier.
0-3, injured, blowing leads everywhere. It's already looking like their season is over. Though
Yes.
can't really say that after just 3 games, but it is bad. Let's see. So the next game we'll talk about is the Seattle Dallas game. So Russell Wilson continuing his MVP campaign. Oh my god, this guy is so good. And he should have had 6 touchdowns yesterday, not 5, but DK Metcalf decided, I'm not gonna score on this one.
DK sold the bag.
I mean, I believe this year Wilson will have the best quarterback stat year in NFL history, even better than Mahomes' 50 touchdown year.
He's gonna throw for 50 touchdowns. I don't know if he'll break the record, but he will throw for 50 touchdowns to me. I mean, Seattle's defense though, needs to be better. A lot better.
Yeah, you can't let Dallas.
Like they gave up 2 deep touchdowns to this Cedric Wilson, who I had never heard of before yesterday. Like, how does that happen?
I think they called him up from the practice squad.
That's bad. And the pass rush just hasn't really been there. Jamal Adams has been great, but like they're still struggling.
Jamal Adams didn't play the second half, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
Get
he
injured
did get
second
hurt
half?
later in
He
the
got
game.
injured.
Did he get hurt before they started making their comeback? If that, then I'm not as worried. But you know,
But that was a dirty play. That the dude that did that needs to get fined and suspended. That was like that's unacceptable. The way he like twisted his leg.
Yeah, great game for Lockett.
Dak threw for 400 plus yards again. Honestly, in terms of like MVP rankings right now, I would put like 1 Russell, 2 Rodgers, 3 Dak, 4 Josh Allen. I mean, so far all 4 of those guys have been absolutely amazing.
I think you put Josh Allen over Dak just because the team's record is better.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think I'm not too worried about Seattle's defense. I mean, they've still been playing some pretty solid offenses so far, and I'm sure, I've been saying this about teams in general, but most of the defenses will struggle early on just because of the limited off season.
Yeah, their fitness level
Specifically, defense.
up and down.
So that's why when people are like, "Oh yeah," say the Bears defense is struggling, or what else? What are the Seahawks defense struggling? I'm like, just a few weeks from now, we'll be talking about how they're one of the better teams in the league. How are we feeling? Are the Cowboys still the favorites in the NFC East? I mean,
Yes, hello. That division is
Yeah.
so bad.
I mean, like, look, you have Haskins, you have Daniel Jones, and you have Carson Wentz. Dak is the better out of all of them. Somehow Philadelphia will be second.
Even talent-wise, this team is so much better than the other three teams in the division. It's just, can they put it together? Because right now, somehow, some way, the Washington football team is in first place right now. So
yeah,
it's not going to take much. At this point, I believe an 8-8 team can win this division. The way it's looked through 3 games.
so exciting! 8-8. Those bums should kick them out of the playoffs.
NFC least. That's why they should just make it 7 overall spots. Each division doesn't deserve. Not all divisions deserve a team to make it to playoffs, especially the NFC least.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about our next game. The Rams and the Bills. And I was so ready for the 28-3 memes. I was so ready.
Same.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Josh Allen and the refs, maybe?
Dude, yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, that was not
Yasser and Yunus. That pass interference call was awful.
Now that's fair, but there was a ridiculous. I can't exactly describe the play, but it was really weird. They gave the Rams an interception when it was like clearly a penalty on them. They still gave them an interception, so people were saying, "Oh yeah, evened out" or something. But I mean, obviously, people are gonna remember that last play more.
Yeah.
This contact,
like, man. Did you see Kyler Murray yesterday? 3 picks against Detroit.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so I just realized, yeah, the NFC West, a couple losses yesterday. That's kind of unusual.
And the 49ers won, so opens the door for them.
So the Rams are down 28-3. They look terrible against the Bills, who look amazing. And suddenly they're coming back. And then they take the lead, and everyone's, "Oh my God, the Bills really blew this game. We're gonna hit them with the 28-3 memes." And then they end up winning. I gotta say, Josh Allen is like heard me and is proving me wrong right now, and I don't like it.
A lot of people doubted him. He's like what we wanted Trubisky to be, low key.
Honestly, is and the Bills right now are looking like pretty decent contender in the AFC. Now, not on the level of the Ravens and Chiefs, but I mean, you could say they're kind of up there.
I don't know. I think I like the Patriots still.
No, I think Buffalo will end up being the division leaders in the AFC East.
I'm not betting against Bill Belichick.
And still has to get used to this offense.
When did they play each other? I don't think it's for a while, don't they? It's like after week 7.
I see. I don't think they can beat either one of those teams, but 3 seed is definitely possible, especially considering the way the teams in the AFC South aren't playing exactly great.
Mhm.
The Rams are still.
I think I can still see them making the playoffs, especially with how banged up the 49ers are.
Yeah,
Mhm.
easily the best. A lot of talent.
Could even get 4.
Yeah, that is possible this year.
I mean,
I don't think they get 4 just because I think the Bears and Packers who's gonna make it there, and then the Buccaneers and Saints also. So that's the only reason I think they won't get 4. I know for a fact that the NFC East won't get 2 in. So it's basically the 3 wild card spots are between the NFC North, the NFC South, and the NFC West.
yeah, I feel you.
I think LA's gonna get a wild card spot.
You think Philly?
LA.
Oh, I was like, did you watch the first 3 games? Respectable.
I think honestly, no. Like I think the Rams will just miss it again. I think San Francisco will come back and they'll be like they'll have a vengeance.
I mean, half their defense is out for the year, or not half, but like Joey
Yeah.
Bosa. I mean, Nick Bosa. It's like
The main defensive players are missing, so that
Mhm.
defense is gonna be lacking a lot.
You can't trust Garoppolo to carry this team. I don't think. So that's why I think they'll definitely drop off this year.
All right. Let's see. The next game, Saints Packers game, Sunday night game. Packers won 37-30. Both teams played without their number 1 receivers. I just want to say before, Alvin Kamara's beast mode touchdown was amazing, especially considering the fact that he was the only above average weapon the Saints had all night. I mean, he evaded 5 tackles there.
He's a freaking beast.
Mara needed to step up, and I feel like whenever Thomas is in there and he plays, Kamara is usually mediocre. But I mean, if he could reach his high potential and play with Thomas, I feel like they'll have something down in New Orleans.
I feel you. This game kind of scared me as a Bears fan, watching the Packers still have a lot of success moving the ball, despite not having Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
The Saints
game was
defense has been
established,
really
and Aaron Rodgers' arm, did it all.
Yeah, pissed off Aaron Rodgers is not what I want to see.
the Saints defense is really struggling too. I mean, so they played 34 points to the Raiders and then 37 points to the Packers without Devontae. I mean, not exactly what you'd expect from a team a lot of people thought were Super Bowl contenders before the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Janoris
Janoris Jenkins seemed to be struggling a lot. Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. Then, I know Drew Brees hasn't been great, but if he's putting up 30 points, you can't really be blaming him for that game.
No, yeah, 100%
He
agree.
wasn't taking. Was he taking shots? I mean, more than the Raiders game, yeah, not a lot, but even then, you still would expect.
That, in my opinion, there's no way you can blame this on the Saints' offense. In my opinion, they did their job. They got their points.
I don't know. The Saints are 1-2 right now. Now they beat the Buccaneers. So that's good, but
They get the Lions next week. They'll just beat up on the Lions and recover.
I mean, Detroit got their defensive backs back. Did you see yesterday's game against Arizona?
Yeah, Jeff Okuda.
I mean, that could be an interesting game. 1-2 teams, but the Lions look better now. Won yesterday against the Cardinals because either threw 3 picks. We'll get to that in a second. But if the Saints can beat them, they can get back on track. Then I mean, I don't know. I thought they'd go like 13-3 before the season. I'm questioning that right now.
Only considering for your prediction to go right, they'd have to go 12-1.
Yeah, I know. Packers defense is also struggling. Like, this is what I'm saying. I know it's another example of what I've been saying. Defenses are going to struggle early on. Soon enough, they'll be doing better. But, that's just how it is right now.
It's almost like in the NBA, right? Because like in the beginning of the season, they're not as like conditioned, and then like as they move in closer to the end of the season, the postseason, they're like in tip top shape. I feel like it's almost that kind of situation. So like once they hit like the middle of the year, I mean they'll be fine, and all the defenses will be back to normal, and then like all of the dominant defenses that you're used to will continue being dominant, unlike they have been in these first 3 weeks.
So Saints, like we said, play the Lions next week. They should bounce back. The Falcons play the Packers. How big of a lead will they be blowing next week?
How many points do you guys think Aaron Rodgers is putting up against the Packers? I mean, against the Falcons.
Aaron Rodgers at least having 4 TDs.
It's gonna be
At least.
41-28 with 2 minutes left, and somehow the Packers will win 42-28, 42-41.
Isn't that next week's Monday Nighter?
Yeah.
Kind of I don't know, man. Grady Jarrett could just shut that running game down, possibly. All right, let's run through the rest of the games. First up, the Cardinals, Lions. So, like we said, Lions won 26-23 on a game-winning field goal. Their corners came back yesterday, and yeah, they had some success against Kyler. Though, to be fair, Kyler didn't have a great game yesterday.
3 picks from Kyler is just unacceptable, in my opinion. For a guy that everyone was like big on, and he just comes out and throws 3 picks this week.
Yeah, Kyler's a contending MVP candidate.
I mean, yeah, he was. Definitely can't deny that one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they also got Galladay back. I forgot about that. So maybe the Lions will look pretty good the next couple weeks. We'll see. Let's see. Next game, Steelers 28, Texans 21. I think the Texans were up like 17-7 in this one.
And
you know,
Quinn and
Quinn
are
and
in the hot seat.
To be fair, they're 0-3, but they've also played all undefeated teams.
I give Houston that, but still, their performance wasn't. They could have performed pretty better.
Yeah, they could have done better, but still, they had to lead that game. They probably should have won.
Again, they played the Steelers defense, and they're a top 5 defense.
Yeah. Honestly, they might be the 3rd best team in the AFC right now. I think I would say that.
Right now, probably be 3rd best. I agree.
What were you gonna say?
So who did they play? They played the Giants week 1. Who did they play week 2?
Giants week 1.
Denver.
Last week they played Denver. Yeah. And then
Denver was banged up, and they still had a close game. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Steelers yet.
Right. Next game. So Titans beat the Vikings 31-30. Another game-winning field goal by Gostkowski. Vikings are on 3. Not great. I mean,
They looked better though today, or not today. Yesterday.
They looked much better. Dalvin Cook finally got a great game, but then Derrick Henry had a great game too.
Hang of it now.
Justin Jefferson went off finally.
Cousins got back in his rhythm.
What do you have? Like 7 catches, 170 yards. Crazy. So the Titans have a less point differential as a 3-0 team than the Bears. So I guess the 2 worst 3-0 teams, the Bears and the Titans, and they play later this year.
Yeah, but the Titans had 3 game-winning field goals.
This is fun. Next week is 0-3 Texans against the 0-3 Vikings. Oh my god, I don't even know what to expect from that game. I think the Texans would win that, but still.
I think it's going to be a good game.
2 desperate teams.
Very desperate.
Very desperate.
The Eagles and the Bengals tied.
Man, you got to
23.
They didn't lose. They didn't lose though.
Passing yard.
I was watching that overtime, and it was just so frustrating. I mean, like, just like, come on. It's ridiculous on so many accounts.
I think it's time to give Wentz. I think it's time to bench Wentz and put Hurts in.
No, that's a ridiculous take. All these people saying that's ridiculous. Wentz has still been great over his career. He hasn't been very good lately, but like, can't just do that. It literally makes no sense.
Oh, yes, it does. Just listen. He's been bad. He's just been bad.
I mean, look at the other side of the ball. Joe Burrow, a rookie, threw for his 2nd straight 300-yard game. He doesn't stop fighting. He wants to get Cincinnati that W. He's hungry for it.
Facts. He wants it bad. And he should have got it week 1 against the Chargers. We got sold though.
Cincinnati's defense is lacking there.
Cincinnati's defense and O-line very lacking. Let's see. And then Colts blew out the Jets 36-7. Yeah.
No surprise here.
Fire Gaze. Colts look decent.
Colts do look decent. Defense is on point.
Oh, if only Adam was here so I could bully him about his Colts take.
I feel like Darnold will have a much better game this Thursday night against Denver. Like it should be a close one there.
The Broncos have so many injuries, and yet they're still gonna win. Like,
it's gonna be one of those games where you put 2 bad teams or 2 struggling teams, and they make a good game. Like it was with the Browns and Bengals. That was a good game.
Let's see. Next game, the Browns beat Washington 34-20.
No surprise here, if we're being honest.
Washington played kind of well, but Haskins turned the ball over 4 times. Not good.
Yeah, you can't win when he does that.
I still believe in Haskins. I will continue to believe in him until the end of time.
Interesting.
When do you think it's time to go back to Alex Smith?
It's never time because he's gonna bounce back. It's gonna be great next game.
They gotta put in Alex
like
Smith
that,
for at
yeah.
least. They gotta put Alex Smith in for a couple of plays so he can get comeback player of the year.
Yeah, Haskins basically skipped the part of his career where he learned from a starter. He went straight on to being the starting QB. I feel like
Oh, and who does that remind me of?
Mitchell Trubisky. Right? Imagine bringing Mike Glennon into.
Mike Glennon equals Case Keenum.
No, Case Keenum's better. Case Keenum has a playoff win.
Man,
Mike Glennon equals
if you think Case Keenum was the winner of that game, all right, whatever.
When he threw the ball to Diggs, the Minneapolis Miracle. Better than Mike Glennon than he ever done in his career. Anyways.
Apparently, the Texans are expected to sign Earl Thomas. Interesting.
Indeed.
It's not going to help them as much as they probably think, but it will help a little. All right, last couple games. See, the 49ers blew out the Giants 36-9. Even with all their injuries, the Giants and the Jets are the two worst teams in the NFL.
How do you score 9 points against practically a B team?
To be fair, their B team is pretty good.
But still. The Giants' everything is terrible. What if they proposed the plan to combine the two New York teams because they're just so bad?
They would still go 4-12.
Okay, I'm not saying they would be good. They would be better than they are separate, though. You get Danny Dimes throwing to... Honestly. They would still be so bad, dude.
Right. Rex Burkhead went off as the Patriots won 36-20 over the Raiders.
Kind of upset by this. I thought the Raiders would at least put up a fight.
It was. They let Rex Burkhead destroy them.
That would be sad.
How do you let Rex Burkhead go off on you? Out of all people.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm. But the Patriots did what the Patriots do. They shut down Darren Waller and they forced someone else to step up. And no one really did, so the Raiders lost.
If you look at the Cam Newton stats, they were pretty poor. He could have done better.
He wasn't as good yesterday as he has been, but he'll have a couple of those games. It's fine.
We're not stat people.
Buccaneers beat the Broncos 28-10.
And no surprise here because the Broncos are a B team again.
Buccaneers.
Who did? Wait, Tom Brady did play really good today. Or yesterday again. Can I express my hate for Scott Miller? Last week I had him starting in 2 fantasy leagues and he got 2 points. This week he would have got 10. He had 3 receptions for 83 yards.
But starting Scotty Miller is basically a hit or miss.
And then last game, the Panthers beat the Chargers 21-16. I'm kind of surprised the Panthers won this early, but
the Chargers are kind of bad. Chargers should be 0-3.
Justin Herbert had so much expectation on him after that close game against Kansas City. I feel like that played a factor.
Good. I mean, this just goes to show he's not quite ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite.
He has time. I don't think anyone expected anything crazy from the Chargers.
Let's see when Tyrod gets back from his situation. Whatever that stupid doctor did. That concludes our NFL segment for today. Before we get to our college football games from this past weekend as well, we're gonna make me and Eunice at least are gonna make some MLB playoff predictions because that's happening now too randomly.
Yeah,
So
tomorrow playoff
I'm
start.
I'm not allowed to make MLB predictions. That's racist.
Because if you guys knew anything, I would
Bro,
maybe consider.
don't test my MLB knowledge, bro. Watch this. I'm gonna fill out a perfect bracket right now.
Okay. Anyway, so we got 16 teams in the playoffs this year. I hope it doesn't stay this way, forever, but they could increase them. Let's see. On the NL side of things, you got the 1 seed Dodgers against the 8 seed Brewers.
I feel like Dodgers take that all the way.
Is
Milwaukee's
Dodgers-
not.
is this a best of one or a best of three?
It's a best of 3.
It's a 3.
So
So
Dodgers
Dodgers
had
in 3.
Milwaukee
That's
established
the
themselves
best
at the end of the year, but it's not going to be enough to beat the Dodgers.
They have Christian Yelich, so they're gonna win at least one game. Yeah, see, look at me with the baseball knowledge.
I'm gonna slap you. No, they have no chance against the Dodgers. The Dodgers are just too good. Dodgers in 2.
Playoff Clayton Kershaw. That's all I need to say.
That'll come later. That comes later. No, trust me. Playoff Kershaw comes later.
All right.
You got Mookie Betts in the mix as well.
Unfair way they got him. Let's see. 4 Padres against 5th seeded Cardinals. Cardinals are hella tired from the ridiculous
I
schedule.
got San Diego in this one. San Diego has the swag. The Miami Heat of the MLB.
Who's on this
Yeah.
team? I don't know anything about these two teams.
Fernando
Bro,
Tatis,
Fernando
the main
Tatis.
one.
Machado's been great. Made a couple deals for pitchers at the deadline.
Yeah. I have Hosmer too.
Oh, they have
World Series
Tatis
champion.
and Machado.
Yeah.
Those are two names that I recognize. Which means they're gonna win the series.
Problem with these 3-game series is that they could easily slump and then just be out, you know?
Yeah.
This is true.
It is what it is. Yeah, Padres. If they make it through Dodgers, Padres would be a very fun series.
I feel like this game is gonna go to 3.
That's possible.
Who's on the Cardinals? Anyone
I think
notable?
Molina's last year.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'll tell you what, Dexter Fowler will hit 3 home runs in this series. We'll still lose though. 3 seed Cubs against the 6 seed Marlins. The Marlins somehow made the playoffs, even though nobody expected them
I
to.
thought the Marlins were completely and utterly awful.
They were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then they had their entire team had COVID at the beginning of the year, and somehow they made the playoffs. You tell me how.
They're a surprising team, but I doubt they'll beat the Cubs.
I mean, the Cubs have been struggling, but they found their rhythm over this last weekend, and I think they're finally going to go on a run. They probably get the best matchup they could because they've been struggling, but they get to play this weird Marlins team. So, I mean, that could happen. Let me see. 1 second.
It's the Braves and the Reds in the 2-7. Do you hear me?
The Reds are kind of
Juno
weird.
will lead the way. Slugging the ball is all they need.
But Castellanos, bro. My man is a beast.
I mean, he is a beast, but that's not going to be enough to beat the Braves.
And Trevor Bauer has been great. But I think this one will go 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
Braves.
series and the Padres Cardinals will go 3.
Yeah, I think that I'm with you. Let's see. Then on the AL side of things, you got the 1 seed Tampa Bay Rays against the 8 seed Blue Jays, Toronto.
The Blue Jays have someone that's really good, right?
They have Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah, that dude.
Love that guy. But they're also not that good of a team.
Yeah, overall.
So I would say it would be pretty surprising if the Rays blew this.
And Tampa was a shocker this year. Nobody expected them to be number 1.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's see. And then we got the 4 seed Cleveland against the 5 seed Yankees.
Is this like a really good matchup?
Wait, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, see this?
Coach Doc Rivers is out with the Clippers.
Oh my god, no way.
Doc Rivers is out as the head coach.
Bro, why did we hire Billy Donovan, man? This is who I want. I don't want Billy Donovan, bro. Hey, Billy Donovan blew lead 2. Oh,
You want a guy who was the only coach in NBA history to blow multiple 3-1 leads.
You know who's gonna pick up Doc Rivers? The Rockets.
ooh, that could. D'Antoni to the Sixers, and then Doc Rivers to the Rockets. I mean, that would be interesting.
And the Clippers got stuck with no coach.
Who the hell are they gonna hire? Jim Boyle?
What if they did hire Jim Boylan and won a championship?
Seriously, I'm trying to figure out who they would hire. Like, I know Rivers, like, he choked that series, but I'm so confused about who they're gonna hire.
That was on the players, in my opinion. Like, you can't blame Doc Rivers when the players play awful.
Why couldn't they fire him like 2 days ago so we could get it? Or it was not 2 days ago. It was like a week ago. Why'd they wait so long? That's weird. Yeah, whatever.
Interesting. Guess it was a tough decision. But back to baseball. Never thought I would say that.
Yankees, Indians. Yankees in 3. Cleveland is good, but I mean, the Yankees have all that power. So I would.
Yankees got all that power. Cleveland
I'm
got it
rolling.
going at the end of the year.
I'm rolling with the Indians only because they're from Cleveland.
Oh. All right. Last 2. 3 seed Twins against the 6 seed Astros. Twins sweep because the Astros are cheaters. All right, I'm just calling that right now.
Yeah, screw the Astros.
Teams are number 1 seed in the AL Central. I'd take them in a sweep over Houston.
Houston isn't even that good this year. They didn't even get to 30 wins. And then lastly, number 2.
I saw stats of like the when they were cheating versus this year when they got exposed for it, and like everyone dropped off. I don't know if that was just because I don't know if that was a coincidence or not. But...
Sure as hell isn't a coincidence.
Yeah, man. Altuve hasn't been getting it going. Their pitching isn't that well.
And then the last series, number 2 seed Oakland A's against the White Sox. I know the White Sox have been struggling, but I mean they're just probably so much better than this Athletics team. And the A's lost to the Mariners a couple days ago. So
Yeah, and the Athletics are down Matt Chapman since the beginning of the year. They only probably have Olsen because they're only big player. So I mean, as much as I say it's going to be a sweep, it's probably going to go to 3 games.
at least they play a lefty first. So
Louis Roberts gonna go off.
Giolito on the mound, possibly another.
Giolito on the mound. Plus we face a lefty. Yeah, we'll definitely win game 1. Then
we got Keuchel on the mound, game 2, I believe.
That was Kuchel.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce his name, right?
Keuchel.
No, it's definitely Cucho.
Right. Anyway, that'll conclude our MLB segment. Let's move on to our last segment of the day: college football. CFB over. um, CFB over this past weekend.
Some great games, some great upsets. I'm officially on the Texas A&M bandwagon because Mike Leach, he did an interview and he said, if you're not on a bandwagon yet, hop on ours before it's too late. So, was it Texas A&M? Wait, no, not Texas A&M. The team that Southern Mississippi or something like that. Not Texas A&M. The ones that beat LSU. That's
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
It's Mike Leach, bro. Not to be fair, because Stingley was out, but I mean, still, Mike Leach's offense in the SEC is going to be unstoppable. Then let's see what else. Florida was great against Ole Miss. Like I said, bro, playoff contenders right there.
Don't you have Oklahoma going to the playoffs and they kind of lost to Kansas State?
Yeah, that was pretty upsetting.
But they lose to Kansas State damn near every year.
Yeah, man. I mean, Oklahoma would have to go undefeated from here and get lucky to win. I mean, the Big 12 is looking really bad right now.
Texas should not have beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas barely beat Texas Tech, who barely beat Houston Baptist last week. You tell me you think that team was a playoff team.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I said that.
At least Oklahoma State won, so they're undefeated right now.
So let's talk about Georgia. They beat Arkansas last week. And they have a tough game against Auburn.
It's showing right now Florida's number 3. Is that is
They just came out with another one. Yeah, Georgia, I mean, to be fair, they played with like their backup quarterback last week because JT Daniels was still injured. But he's cleared to play this week. Yeah. It'll be a fun game. Auburn, Georgia. Auburn beat Kentucky 29-13. I think Auburn would win that. I actually think it'll be Auburn and Florida in the SEC championship game.
Auburn and Florida, interesting. You don't like Miami so far? What they've done?
I'm using ACC.
We dismantled them. Louisville's
We
dropped.
also have another game to look forward to. Texas A&M in Alabama.
Yeah, it'll be a great game. Are there any other really good games next week? Oklahoma, Iowa State, maybe. Yeah.
What else? Louisiana is still undefeated. Rooting for them to make the playoffs somehow. Go Louisiana. Cincinnati beat Army. I actually thought Army would win. That was very disappointed game with that game. Yeah. They're playing a backup quarterback, man. Spencer Sanders still injured. I think they still got it. I think they'll be fine. They've got to look better.
Whoa. Oh my. I'm looking at not this upcoming week, but the week after it. There's some amazing matchups. Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Texas A&M, and then the nightcap is Clemson in Miami.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, Miami is looking great right now. Um, they maybe they could definitely play Clemson in the ACC championship game. I don't know if they'll be able to beat Clemson, but I mean,
This is huge,
Yeah.
man. If they can knock off Clemson,
Also forgetting Notre Dame is in the ACC. They're ranked number 5 right now.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They play Florida. Well, no, not next week. Who do they even play next week?
They got
They delayed that one.
2 weeks.
Oh yeah. They don't even play next week either. So they got 2 weeks postponed. Well, that makes sense because they got a quarantine for 2 weeks. It's shaping up to be a fun college football season as always. The Big Ten. I wonder if this year it'll be like, because last year it was like LSU was a lock with Joe Burrow, and then Bama had Tua, so they were doing really good, and then Clemson. I wonder if it'll be like more like fluid at the top, to where like you can make an argument for like 8 teams making the playoffs.
I hope so. I mean,
Yeah, it seems like
I prefer when you get 4 teams who actually deserve to be there, not 3 and then Oklahoma who gets blown out.
yeah.
You know, so I think it'll be better than that this year. It's more open.
It's definitely more open. Like you see, the ACC could get 2, SEC can get 2. You gotta factor in the Big Ten. It should be interesting. I feel like I say this every year, but this year might be the year that makes them look and say, "All right, maybe we gotta expand it to 8 teams."
No, I don't like that because like even then, there's not enough teams that compete in the playoff itself for where you're like, yeah, 8 teams deserve to be in.
True.
But
Maybe not 8 teams, but maybe 6. Give the first 2 seeds a bye.
that's definitely possible.
I like that idea. Yeah.
But even then, I've still every year there's been at least one blowout in the college football playoff, where it's like, why are you gonna expand it until these teams actually aren't getting blown out?
I think was it the year before last when Notre Dame got in and they just got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And then last year was Joe Burrow scored like 8 touchdowns on Oklahoma, and then the one year they beat Ohio State 31-0. For the year Alabama beat Michigan State 31-0. Like that's why I'm perfectly fine with not making the playoff bigger. But that will conclude our episode for today. As usual, subscribe and follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Full NBA Finals preview on Wednesday.
NBA Finals preview on Wednesday, plus Monday Night Football recap, and maybe some other stuff. We thank our guests for their appearances today, and we hope they'll rejoin us soon. Have a good one.